D-Ski from D-Ski Grillz back with another cooking video. And today we're making apple whiskey baby back ribs on the Gateway drum smoker. Let me show you the ingredients we're going to be using today. This will be a two-step process. Tonight we'll just do a dry brine, get the ribs in the refrigerator, and tomorrow we'll get cooking and finish up the rest of the seasoning. So here's what we got for today. We'll be using the Suckin, salt, pepper, garlic, and parsley. We'll be using bone sucking sauce. Love this stuff on ribs, so we'll do a heavy coat. This will make up our dry rub as well as the Suckin. For tomorrow, the apple whiskey glaze we're going to make. I'll show you what we're going to do there. First, we have to start with some great apple juice. So we have 100% apple juice. We have brown sugar. And we have Canadian whiskey. The brand we have is Crown Royal. So let me show you the stars of the show. What we have is 3 beautiful slabs of baby back ribs. So what I'm going to do is take these to the cutting board. I'm going to remove the membrane off of the camera. You guys have seen that done many times. All we're going to do is season them with the bone sucking sauce and a light coat of that Suckin. Get them in the refrigerator for 8 to 10 hours, and then tomorrow we'll do our first cook on this awesome Gateway drum smoker. I want to thank you as always for joining me, and let's get cooking. Okay, YouTube, we are back. So all I'm going to do now is hit the back of these ribs with mustard. Now, I've removed the membrane. Like I said, I did that off camera because I know you've seen that many times. So let's get mustard on these ribs. We'll do a light coat. And again, all this is in preparation for the dry brine that we're going to do tonight. These are going to be some awesome ribs, and what I'm really looking forward to is hanging these on my new drum smoker. So I did a previous video where I showed how I just received the Gateway drum smoker. Got a beautiful royal blue 55-gallon drum smoker, and we get a chance to hang some ribs on it and try this thing out. So very excited about that. So we got a light coat of mustard. Then we're going to come back with Suckin on this back side. Now I love this as a foundation to all of my dry brines and pretty much anything that I grill. Love to get that salt, pepper, and garlic infused in the meats that I cook. It's a base coat, if you will, and it really does a phenomenal job of making flavors pop, no matter what it is you're cooking. Okay, so we have the base coat of that. Now we're going to come back with our bone sucking sauce. And I want to go a generous coat of this. Okay, so as you can see, we are wrapped. We have our saran wrap on these ribs. We're going to get them in the refrigerator for 8 to 10 hours. Tomorrow, we will do the next step. You guys have a good evening. Good morning. This is day 2 of our apple whiskey baby back ribs cooked on the Gateway drum smoker. Can't wait to finish this cook up today. I'm going to show you, of course, step by step what we're going to do to get this completed. Now, if you remember yesterday, we did a dry brine. So that's what you see here. We did a dry brine using nothing but the Suzy Q's salt, pepper, and garlic, as well as bone sucking sauce on these 3 slabs of ribs. They sat for 12 hours now. You can see they are just soaked and infused with these awesome flavors. So what we're gonna do now is get our hooks in, get our grill set up first, and get ready to hang these ribs. So this will be the first official cook on the Gateway Drum Smoker. I did do some chicken. I'll post a few pictures as a beginning of this video so you can see it turned out amazing. So we'll get this prepped out there on the grill. I'll show you step by step how to do it. So then I'll bring you back in. I'll show you how we're gonna make our apple whiskey spritz that we're gonna spray on these ribs during the cooking process. So I wanna thank you as always for joining me. We'll head to the cutting board, get these hooks in these ribs, get ready to get them out there and get them hung on the Gateway. Thanks again for joining me, and let's get cooking. Okay, so here we are. We are back at the cutting board, and now it is time to hook our 3 slabs of ribs. What you want to do when you're hooking these ribs is you want to make sure you get at least to the second bone. So the first bone is here, this is the second bone. So what we're going to do is hook right in behind the second bone, okay? So that will be right about here. These things are packed with flavor. All right, just that simple. We are hooked. All right, let's do the next one. I've got one bone here. My second bone is here. So we're gonna hook right up under that one. There's that one. You see we're hooked well. And let's do our last slab. Pick this one up. Bring her over. Same thing, you have the first bone here, second bone here, and we're gonna go right up under that one. Okay, folks, so we are hooked and ready to take them out to the smoker, but let's go first get the smoker ready and prepped, and then we'll be ready to add these ribs. So just wanted to show you the hooking process. That's all you have to do. I'll meet you guys outside. Okay, YouTube, we are back. It is about 30 degrees out here today, so a little chilly. Here's this beautiful Gateway drum smoker. I'll bring it out. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the cover. I made it a point to get the cover. I wanted to make sure to preserve this thing. So you can see my other grills out here as well. Doing the best I can to try to keep this area neat so I don't get the missus fussing at me too much. But here we go. This is the Gateway drum smoker. Now it has an outer sleeve for rain protection and of course things like that. Then it has an inner sleeve that also comes with this, and that of course is to keep from scratching the drum smoker itself. So it's really cool to have this liner. This is more of a cloth felt type liner to ensure that your grill doesn't get scratched from this. So very, very good thought. I like that a lot. Let me get this pulled off. So it has a latch to where you are able to squeeze this around to make sure it doesn't blow off during windy days. So I just unloosened that. All right, here we are. Awesome unveiling. All right, so here's the new toy. This is the beautiful Gateway drum smoker in royal blue. All right, what we're gonna do now is go ahead and get prepped for this cook. So I brought Kingsford charcoal out. We're gonna use we're gonna fill up the char basket with the Kingsford. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and fill our drum smoker up. I have the regular blue and white Kingsford, the original. You can see the capacity of this charcoal basket. It is huge, so it'll hold plenty of charcoal. Okay. Should do it. And what I plan on doing to stick with the theme is I have some apple smoke wood. So since we are making apple whiskey, So since we are making apple whiskey ribs, we'll use apple wood for this cook today. So I have about 4 or 5 more chunks of that we'll add as well. Okay, so next thing to do, once you've filled up your char basket, then you just add it back into the drum smoker. I'll give you guys an up close and personal real quick and let you see how that looks. Okay, so we have our charcoal added to the char basket inside the drum smoker now. Now, there we go. Put that in place. As you can see, we've already seasoned it. You can see the walls of the grill. Now, again, I did a first cook myself when I hung some whole chickens. Man, they were absolutely delicious. The best chicken I've had ever on a grill. So I think there may be a science to this. You can see this port right there. I hope you can see that one port. I can't really get my hand in there, but right there, that port, let me back up and show you, is the intake right here. Okay, so this intake goes right down through there, and that is what you see. So that's how the air comes in. You have another one on the other side here. Show you that, and that is right there. So there's your 2 intake ports. All right, so that's how your air comes in and hits this charcoal and gives you that heat. Okay, then you have one exhaust on top. But that's how that works. So I'm gonna go get 2 wax cubes and we can get this thing started, and we can go do that right now. Let me move this over. Now you see the 3 pegs, I talked about those in the initial video. So those are 3 different cooking heights, but this 3rd peg on the bottom, so you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3. Now the one on the bottom is where I put my diffuser plate, which I'll show you that as we go as well. So first, let's go ahead and get these charcoals going. All right, so I have my 2 wax starters. I'm gonna go ahead and get them in place. And I just wanna put them in the middle here. Put one here and get another one right next to it. Pretty close. All right, let's get these babies fired up. Okay, so now we have those fired up. We'll let them ash over, then we'll come on back and check out the next step. Okay, YouTube, so while our coals are ashing over, I thought we'd come on in and mix up our apple whiskey spritz for these ribs during the cook. So here's what we're using today. We have apple juice, we have apple cider vinegar, we have brown sugar, and we have Canadian whiskey. This is Crown Royal brand, so Crown Royal Canadian whiskey. So that's all we're going to use for this apple whiskey spritz. Okay, we're going to start off with the whiskey first. And what I want is about a 1/2 cup of the whiskey. So we want to infuse these ribs with a nice, bold whiskey flavor. Now, you know, by cooking this on the pot, you burn the alcohol away. So all we're looking for is a flavor. We're not worrying about the alcohol being a problem with these ribs because it'll burn off during the cooking process. So that was a 1/2 cup of that. I'm going to come back with the apple cider vinegar. Now, with the apple cider vinegar, all I want is about less than a 1/4 cup of that. About that much. Now, this stuff is concentrated, but I tell you, apple cider is awesome on ribs, but almost any kind of pork. It's really, really good with the flavor it brings to it. All right, now we're going to come back with our apple juice. Okay, so with the apple juice, I want to get 1 cup of apple juice. So that's what we just added right then, 1 cup of apple juice. And last but not least, I want at least a cup of sugar. I will monitor this, but I'm going to start with a cup until I get the type of flavor I want is what I'm going to do with this brown sugar. So we're going to go with a cup first, and I'm going to eyeball that. Okay, so those are our ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and get this fired up real quick. We're going to whisk it first. So let me bring you in first. Let me bring you in closer. Okay, so here's what we have. We're going to get it whisked. I want to break down this apple cider vinegar, break down the sugar, get all this stuff to mix in well together. We're going to have an awesome spritz to put on these ribs. Love it. Tastes great. Okay, I'm gonna get this fired up now. Let's do that now. Okay, folks, that's what we got going on. We're gonna bring this to a boil. And then once it boils, we will let it simmer, cool off, and we'll put it in a spritz bottle, and that's what we'll spray our ribs with. All right, I'll catch you guys back outside. Okay, we are back. As you can see, we are ashed over. So let's go ahead now and add our apple wood. I'm gonna add some in a couple of these areas. We're gonna make sure to have us some really, really good smoke flavor running through these ribs. So there's our apple wood. Okay, I wanted to share another accessory I bought for the drum smoker, and that's just a side table. So it's a little work table. And what it has is a slit right here that fits with the handle here, where you can just push it right in, and immediately you have a work table to where you can actually put things. So I'm going to bring the ribs out. We'll sit them right here. But I wanted to show you that table and how cool that is when you want to spritz. Maybe I'll keep my spritz bottle out here later, let it sit there, or you know, whatever it is that you want, cooking related, gloves or whatever it is. And now they can seat right on that table. Okay, YouTube, we are back. So as you can see, we have our fire already ashed over well. I've already dropped in 4 chunks of apple wood. Now that's starting to take hold. So I'm gonna close the lid, let this baby get up to temperature, and then we'll be ready to add our ribs. Okay, YouTube, we are back. It is time to hang our ribs. We have the grill up to 250 degrees right now. Now there is the hook I was talking about. Let's hang this right on the side. You can see that awesome smoke that we have that's rolling through there already. So I'm going to bring this as close as I can so you guys can see the hanging process. Let's get that about right here. Hopefully this will give you a good view. All right, so we're going to get hanging right now. We got 3 awesome slabs of ribs. Now, what we're going to do, or the plan for this, is going to be to rotate maybe every 30 minutes to make sure that we're actually promoting even cooking during this process. Okay, so hopefully you can see that, those beautiful 3 slabs. I'll unhook from here and let you get a close-up. There we go. And this is good-looking stuff, folks. All right, we'll get back together in about an hour, and I'll show you where we're at. Okay, YouTube, let me show you. We are close to 300 degrees, so I want to back down these dampers and get this thing set in. Okay, so we are open about 1/4 of the way. I want to bring it down to about 1/8. So that's what I did right here. And I want to do the same thing to this side. Bring it down to about 1/8 way open. 1/8 of an inch open. Okay, that is it. So we're going to back out now and monitor these temps and see what we got. This thing is smoking just beautifully. Look at the smoke coming out of that exhaust. That's how the chicken was unreal. The juiciness of the chicken. This hanging method is really, really something special as far as the flavor, and it's because the juices, they fall right back into the coals, the charcoal, and it shoots these bursts of flavor back into your meats. So again, we are together for the first rib cook. I can't wait to see the flavor that comes from these ribs. I'm really looking forward to this. This may be a rib making machine. We don't know yet, but we will see. I will definitely give you guys my honest thoughts on it when it's done. So I want to thank you for joining me. I'll check back with you guys in about 30 minutes. Okay, we are back. So what we're going to do, we are 30 minutes in. Let me show you first off that the grill is holding temperature. What you see on that dial, I know I'm not up close on it, but if it was dead middle of the yellow, that would be 300 degrees. So if you can get an idea, we are at about 280, 290 degrees, and it is holding true for the last 30 minutes. Okay, so I thought I'd show you that. Now, let's get right here. I'm gonna move this just a tad bit. I want you guys to see, this is the apple whiskey that spritz that I made on the stove. So we're gonna start spritzing these ribs, but first we're gonna go ahead and move them about about 90 degrees, and then do a turn and then spritz them all. So let's do that. Okay, I am already amazed at this beautiful color, so I'll bring that down, let you see a little bit on how these things are looking. Look at the color of those ribs. They are absolutely beautiful. Okay, so it is time to do a spritz. Let's spritz, and then we will do a 90-degree turn. So I'm really excited about using this apple whiskey spritz because, you know, you want to keep moisture when you're hanging as well, right? So another thing is the ability to get both sides. You can walk around the drum. So I'm going to get the front and the back of these babies. So doing that now. Move this down a little bit so I can reach it better. So we're talking flavor, folks. You guys know this is what these Grillz is about. Building flavor. So we're going to move that over. Let's move this one back. And we'll move this one to make sure I can get the front of it a lot better than I am. Great spritz job here. Okay, now I want to turn these 90. So we'll turn it 90 degrees. These moved over. And I'll take you closer. See, we're already starting to get pullback on these ribs as well. So it's everything that you want. Okay, so let me take you up close and show you that. So you can see we're getting pullback already. And this is just in 30, 35 minutes of cooking. So this is what we're talking about when we say hot and fast. That's what these drums give you. They give you that hot and fast. You are in and out of these cooks in no time flat. You can see the beautiful color that the bone sucking sauce along with the salt, pepper, and garlic gave overnight. So that was awesome. What a great addition to help give this beautiful color that we have. Okay, I'm going to get this closed up because the fire, of course, is starting to rage now. You can see that. We got to get the top back on. So you're supposed to do that as fast as possible. I'll move this back, let you see that. And then we're going to check back in about 30 more minutes. Okay, YouTube, we are back. So one thing I forgot to share with you, we are 1 hour in, and one thing that is special to these drum smokers is what they call the hot and fast method. So by having this smoke encompassing the whole piece of meat that you're cooking, it cuts that cooking time in half. So we're going to pull these out 1 hour in. We're not done yet, but if you think about traditional ribs, when you're making them, you're talking the 3-2-1 method. In this case, we'll be done with these ribs in 2 hours flat. You can't beat that. So let me get them opened up. What we're going to do is put them on the sheet pan and then add them to the grill grate, wrap them for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then sauce them. So 2.5 hours as opposed to 6 hours. How can you beat that? Let's get them opened up. I want you guys to see the color of these ribs too when I pull these off. Look at this beautiful color. Isn't this unreal? Now this is the bone sucking sauce. This is our apple whiskey spritz. This is just caramelized, just beautiful color. I'm gonna get these laid down and get the other two out. Let me show you rack number 2. Same thing, absolutely lovely. You can see, hopefully, that there's pullback. We'll get up close in a minute, but you have pullback already happening. So we'll get this one laid down. Okay, and last but not least, let's get out rack number 3. Just even, beautiful cooking. Unreal. Look at that. You would think that the bottom will be burnt because it's closer to the fire. No. This is why you get your lid closed, you regulate those temperatures, and you keep those flare-ups from happening. So just beautiful. I'm going to put this one down. Okay, folks, we're going to take them to the cutting board, get them wrapped. You've seen that done before. We'll get them back out. We are done now with the rib hanging attachment. That's what this is. We'll take this out. And what we'll do now is bring our grill grate and put that in place. Okay, so here's our grill grate. Now this comes standard with the drum smoker. Now the rib hanging kit, that is an accessory that you have to buy. So we'll go ahead and lay this down. All right, and then I'm gonna head on into the house, get these babies wrapped and back out on the grill. I'll meet you guys at the cutting board. I know you've seen this, but why don't we just go ahead and follow this all the way through together. See you guys inside. Okay, we are back at the cutting board. So here's what we got going on. We're gonna go ahead and get slab number 1 laid down. Again, check out the juices already flowing from this thing. It is unreal, okay? So you can see what I was telling you about the pullback. We already achieved pullback. We are tender already, but we're gonna definitely wrap. We wanna make these babies as succulent as possible. I'm gonna lay them down. We're gonna do our traditional butter and brown sugar on these things. And then what I plan on doing is adding some of the Spritz, because what I'm really going for, if you remember, on this cook, is that apple whiskey flavor. So that's what this is all about. We'll do that. Okay, we'll go light on that brown sugar, and then we'll come right on back with our Spritz. Okay, that's what we got going on that side. I'm gonna flip it over. We're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. So here we will hit it with the butter. Come back with the brown sugar. Now what we're gonna do when we head back outside is go straight on that grill grate with these babies wrapped up, and then they'll stay on about 30 minutes, and then we will sauce them. So there's our brown sugar, and back with our awesome apple whiskey Spritz. Okay, this is what we're gonna do to the remaining 2 slabs. I just wanted to show you that one, and we will check back when it's time to get back out there on the grill. Okay, we are back. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and add this baby. Let's do this. Our charcoal is still looking awesome. I'm gonna come on in just a little bit more and let you see. That is the grill grate I was talking about. We went ahead and put that back in place. So another thing, you have your attachments for hanging, then you come on back, and if you want, you can put it on your grill grate and do your finishing. So that's what we're doing now. Plenty of room to get 3 slabs of ribs on. There we go. And just that simple, folks. We're gonna close it up. I got it meat side down. We'll close it up, let all these flavors blend in together. We'll check back together in about an hour, okay? Okay, YouTube, we are 1 hour later. These ribs have been wrapped in foil. I'm gonna take them out, and what I wanna do is just let them sit on the grill grate open. So let's take these babies off real quick. Just let them finish cooking right on the rack. And I love doing this. Now what we're not gonna do is sauce these ribs. Now you think about it, we did a awesome job of spritzing. We have beautiful color right now. We want to taste this apple whiskey. That's the taste we want. And our last one here. Okay, I'll bring you up close, take a picture of these babies. We'll let them sit here and get firm. Then we're going to take them to the cutting board and let you see the final product. Let me take you up close and let you see these. Now look how beautiful these ribs are. Unreal. Gateway drum smoker. I am loving it. There's a beautiful color. That apple whiskey Spritz along with the bone sucking sauce proved out to be a great combination. I'll meet you guys later at the cutting board. We're gonna let these sit here and just continue to firm up for 10 minutes. Then we're going inside. Okay, YouTube, we are back. So let's check out the final product of our apple whiskey baby back ribs cooked on the Gateway drum smoker. As you can see, I want you to pay special attention to the sheen that we have on here. Now these were not sauced whatsoever. We strictly hit them with the bone sucking sauce, salt, pepper, garlic, and parsley. We did that in the refrigerator for 10 to 12 hours. Next day we pulled those babies out, we hung them, cooked them on the Gateway drum for about 2.5 hours, spritzing with the apple whiskey Spritz every 30 minutes. That's all we did. Look what we have. We took them out, we wrapped them for about an hour, and we did that with just brown sugar butter and more of the apple whiskey Spritz. So this is our final product. What I want to do now is get 1 slab pulled, turned over, and cut it for you, let you see what we got here. So we'll turn this one over. Look how beautiful these things are. Now I've had them sitting on the cutting board now for about 30 minutes. So I'll cut into this real fast, let you see what we got. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. You have your smoke ring, you have juices flowing all over, and you're talking tender. Let me show you tenderness. That's called tenderness. Let's just finish this up real quick and show you guys what's going on here at DSKey Grillz. This is what you call fall off the bone goodness. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe to my channel. Let others know what DSKey Grillz is up to. And as always, at DSKey Grillz, Grilling is not a pastime, it's a passion. I'm about to have me some apple whiskey ribs. Enjoy the rest of this football weekend. You guys take care.